Good morning, everyone. Happy weekend, or happy third weekend of April, I should say. Hope we all had a wonderful week. I know it's been very cold in Melbourne lately, but I hope we've been rugging ourselves up and, looking forward to what should be a very lovely, relaxing, maybe a busy weekend, depending on what your weekend plans are. Today, I'd like to do a preview of the Adelaide St Kilda game tonight at Adelaide Oval, 7:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before I do that, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our tutoring school that founded by me and my wife, or my wife and myself, I should say. If you see the logo here, it's called the Roki School of Excellence, okay? It's an academic tutoring school that provides group and individual tutoring services for years 5 to 12 mathematics, minus specialist maths, okay? So across all areas in maths, except specialist maths, as well as Western drums, South Indian classical drums, and the electronic percussion instrument known as the octopad. Okay, so if you have a child, or if you know of any loved ones or friends who might be interested, please do ask them to get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to assist with enrollments as they open throughout the year. Just for your information, my wife takes care of the admin and enrollment side and the welcome pack side of the school, and I'll look after the class details and the fees side of the school. Okay, so jump on board if you're interested. Okay, so that's that one. Okay, so over to the game tonight, and what a big game it's going to be. Okay, it's going to be an absolute massive game. Okay, before we start that, let me acknowledge, and I'd like to pass on my heartfelt condolences to the Dawson family. Jordan, for those who don't know, Jordan Dawson lost, his brother passed away, was found no more in recent days. It came in the news and it was really, really sad. I'm not an Adelaide Crows supporter, but when you have any player who's going through this sort of moments, it's only human to feel for them. Okay, it's really, really a tough time. And I've never met the bloke. I know he's a talented captain, great player. But my heartfelt condolences to him and his family, and look, I send all my love to them in what's going to be very tough times. And as a result, for those who don't know, Jordan Dawson won't be playing tonight because of family reasons, and understandable. We all know family comes first. Okay, so really, really, very, very sad to know. And I guess it all comes down to Adelaide trying to go all out to win tonight. Okay, so before I do that, I just wanted to tell you guys that every time St Kilda play a game, there's always some sad circumstances happening to the opposition team. Last year, Scott Selwood, Joel Selwood's brother, passed away. Okay, was it Scott Selwood's brother, or one of the Selwood brothers passed away? And they were a former West Coast player, okay, in the past. And that week, West Coast played St Kilda, and guess what? West Coast won by 28 points. And that was the only win of their season. So could the same happen tonight? Maybe, but we got to be prepared, okay? Now, I'd like to take this opportunity to just show you the lineups. Of course, if you have access to the AFL website, you'll all know what the lineups are. So just let me bring that up for a sec. Okay. So as we can see here, a very well-balanced side. So Adelaide, minus Jordan Dawson, minus Mitchell Heens, Saligos, or star play Boles. They pretty much have their key players in. So if we look at our lineup to match theirs, we'll start with our back line and their forwards, because their forwards can be very dangerous. And this is where I really rate Adelaide. If you get it forward to them, they can be very dangerous. They're a good run spread team. They've got the home crowd behind them to support them. So they'll go all out for here. We've got to be able to limit the ball coming this side, because these are very dangerous propositions. Taylor Walker, he might be 36 years of age, guys. He's still kicking them beautifully. Isaac Rankin, goodness me, he can take them. He can make or break the game wide open. You let him get a sniff, and that's it. Riley Thilthorpe, this is where I miss Dougal Howard, guys. As much as everybody rates Cal Wilkie, Jack Silvani, Dougal Howard's a perfect height matchup for Thilthorpe because he's about 200 centimetres more. So Dougal Howard's our tallest defender. So he would really match up. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean these defenders can't mitigate his influence. So we really have to limit their influence here. So it's over to guys like TDK, Flanders Windy, along with Darcy Wilson, Max Hall, who's been in career best form so far this year. Absolute fantastic year so far. And Hugh Boxhill. Over to them to really provide all that. And maybe a Stocker, Hunter Clark. Good to have Stocker back. He provides an X factor to go in through the middle with Garcia to really mitigate them bringing it here. Where we can expose Adelaide is a little bit of our forward line pressure, okay, and our forward. Max King is yet to come back, but we do have a bit of height now with Mason Wood going forward. Mitch Owens, Sharman and Marshall will add to that height, okay? Wait till King comes back. He's going to strengthen that height more. But in the meantime, we have these four, and our small forward pressures are there. So you've got Butler, who can help, Higgins and Liam Ryan, who can provide X factors as well. Higgins was quiet last week in his milestone game, but I'd expect him to hit the scoreboard today in his own capacity. And you've got Mateus Filippo, who can go down that corridor and play. He kicked 2 beautiful goals last week. That second goal he kicked to put the game beyond doubt for Port Adelaide was a ripper. Trusted himself, outside of 50, went bang. And Kane Corns, I've never seen Kane Corns talk that highly and excited about it. He rates Filippo, but his tone of voice meant how much the goal was important. So really great. Good. I think we've got a well-balanced lineup. We will miss Alex Tarou's intercept work in the back line and a bit of Dougal Howard. But look, I think with this is a team I think that can get the job done. No excuses. Adelaide will go all out. They've got Rochelle. They've got all of these other players to help in the forward. But we cannot take this game lightly. They're a much better quality opposition than Port Adelaide. No disrespect to Port. They've got more talent around the ground than Port, and they can spread the ball nicely. Okay, if you look at their form the last few weeks, they've been a bit patchy. They won against Carlton, but they lost to Freo and lost at Geelong, and they lost to the Bulldogs. So they've lost a few at home as well. And to be honest with you guys, no matter how well Saints go, every time we play Adelaide every season, they always seem to pants us. The last time St Kilda beat the Crows was in 2022. When Max King was humming with 6 goals. Since then, especially in 2023 when Saints were finals bound, Adelaide pants them. It's always been an average of 50 to 60 points. They remind me of the Western Bulldogs in many ways. Every time they play the Saints, they have a feast. We got to learn. I hope tonight shows that we've learned from our mistakes, at least from a competitive performance perspective. Or we try and translate that to a victory. Okay? So very, very important. We come out of the blocks and we want to be ahead of this game. If we can have a similar start to Port that we did against Port, there's no reason why we can't run this off. Of course, against Adelaide, we want to be fixing up our second halves. If you're going to have a relaxed third quarter like we did against Port last week, I'm telling you, it's going to be a couple of goals lost to this opposition. Okay? Last week, I think we lost the inside 50s count to Port or something. Do that today and we're going to get done by 10 goals. We got to even it with them, with Adelaide, or at least exceed. No excuse. Yes, there's no Jordan Dawson. Yes, they don't have Saligo, but they've got other weapons all over the ground they can expose. So it's at their home ground. It's their fortress. Although it might have not been as much a fortress this year, we've got to be very careful. Okay? Now, just to round out my points, I'm just going to do some quick preview points for tonight's game. So the first one, as I've said earlier, I really wish, my heartfelt condolences to the Dawson's family. Very tough situation, and look, this means Adelaide will go all out, like West Coast did with us last year, to win. So we got to be ready on the front foot from the bounce of the ball. Midfield battle is super crucial. Yes, with Max Hall, Wynn Hager, Darcy Wilson, Boxall, Sam Flanders, they got to crack in there. Limit that ball going to Adelaide's forward line, and then I think we should be good. And probably Naz might be playing there, I'm not sure. Number 3, we need to limit the ball supply to the forward line. Yep, so that goes in hand with point number 2, which means also not just the midfield limiting it, the defense has to stand up, which they have. Silvani and Silvani and Wilkie have provided amazing chemistry in the last few weeks, especially last week. Silvani had his best game so far as a Saint. So if they can replicate that tonight, there's no reason why not. Okay. Number 4, I wish Dougal Howard was in. I've said that before. Great matchup for Riley Thilthorpe. Okay. Thilthorpe has put on some muscle. He's a big guy. I'm not sure if Wilkie and Silvani, as good as they are the answers to it. I hope so. But this is where you need a 200 defender. And Harris Andrews, height-like defender. Do you know what I mean? Height-wise. Because Dougal Howard's about 200 centimetres. Riley Thilthorpe's a big guy. Huge. Much huger than our tall defenders. So we've got to really... Either we have to collectively limit his influence, or really hope one of Wilkie and Silvani, or the duo here, really, mitigate that. Okay? Number 5, it might be Adelaide's fortress, guys. But it's a familiar territory for St Kilda to win this game. Okay? Very familiar territory. It's not that we can't win this game at all. It's a very, very familiar territory. We just won there last week against Port. We won there last year against Port. Okay? So we really should have no excuses to treat this game as a statement one. Make a statement. Okay? Number 6, Stocker's return. He was injured last week. He provides fantastic grunt like the Boxhalls and Hunter Clark. Solid in his work rate, work ethic, and he provides that leadership beautifully wherever he plays. So a team like Adelaide, Stocker's return couldn't come any sooner, guys. So I can't emphasize that more than enough, okay? I'll leave it there, guys. If you're in Adelaide tonight and if you have no plans, try and get down to the game. Or if you're in Melbourne, have no plans, try and watch the game. Get around the boys. We have every right to be as vocal as we can here, okay? We have nothing to lose. It might be the Crows. It might not be a happy hunting opposition for us the last few years, but we have a stronger lineup this time. We have 4 players who have strengthened our lineup compared to previous seasons, okay? There's no reason why we can't take it up to them. At most, if anything, a competitive loss I can take, not a humiliating loss anymore. A bonus would be a victory. Doesn't matter by how many points. But if we're going to get panned, it shows we've not learned from our previous encounter. So I really hope they really turn up tonight. Get ready for Adelaide's best. Respect the opposition and really get on the front foot early. Okay, guys? I'll leave it there. Comment your thoughts. Please subscribe to the channel. And please feel free to circulate this channel to others who might be interested. Okay? The more subscribers, the better. And yeah, my next video will be about a review. Hopefully talking about a St Kilda victory. Let's see. And yeah, till then, take care. Stay safe. Go Saints. Bye, guys.